guys are good. How'd you like to work full-time for the Justice Department?
I found her diary underneath the tree and started reading about me. The words she'd written took me by surprise. You'd never read them in her eyes. They said that she had found the love she'd waited for. Wouldn't you know it? She wouldn't show it. Then she confronted with the writing there, simply pretended not to care. I passed it off as just in keeping with her total disconcerting air. Wouldn't you know it? She wouldn't show it. And as I go through my life, I will give to her my wife all the sweet.
Why do you watch that? Music is an international language. It transcends all boundaries, political, philosophical, ideological. Yes, it extends a common hand to all peoples. Besides, I think they're very good.
And as I go through my life, I will wish for her his wife. All the sweet things she can find. All the sweet things they can find.
Thank you all very much. You're a great audience. Thank you.
I know you've been taken, afraid to hurt again. You fight the love you feel for me instead of giving in. But I can wait forever for helping you to see that I was meant for you and you for me. So remember, goodbye doesn't mean forever. Let me tell you, goodbye doesn't mean we'll never be together again. Though we may be so far apart, we still would have our hearts. So forget your past, 'cause now you're all I'd like.
Okay, fellas, let's move it, huh? Come on, we've got to hit that airport. David, where you been? We've got 15 minutes to get to the airport. That's with the police escort.
That little girl I had to say goodbye to.
Always do. We'll be waving the flight goodbye unless we get moving. Now, come on.
Okay.
Listen, we got problems. One of our speakers is missing, one of the new Series G Transonics. Now, it could have been stolen either here or back in Russia.
Oh, man, we gotta get that back. I mean, do we call the police?
No. Listen, that'll be too sensitive. I've got a State Department number I'm supposed to use in case something like this happens. I'll see you later.
Okay. All right, come on with me, David. Come on this way.
Haven't give you any idea what this is all about?
He mentioned bread.
Maybe we're getting a raise.
I doubt it.
I'd like you to meet Frank and Joe Hardy. They're also at the Justice Department. Frank, Joe, Paul Owen.
Hi, how are you? This is David Gates.
Hi, David. Nice to meet you.
I'm road manager and foreign liaison to David and his group.
What's the problem?
An expensive speaker is missing from that case. We think stolen.
Joe.
I don't know how it can be missing from this end. We have a very tight security system here.
Well, apparently not tight enough.
The speaker also could have been stolen before this case arrived in Hawaii. Perhaps departure from Russia.
Gentlemen, I'd like to suggest we continue this discussion someplace where it's more private, huh?
Just as long as I get my speaker back.
I wasn't trying to push the panic button by calling you guys in. Dealing in diplomatic channels now for 6 years, getting work for groups like Bread, getting them work permits, passports, greasing the wheels into Iron Curtain countries, and I know what the ramifications of something like this can be.
All right, but this investigation has to be carried on quietly, under wraps. No police, no publicity.
How could that speaker have been stolen in Russia? Isn't there a bill of lading that shows the correct weight and everything?
There was no discrepancy on the weight.
Is it possible it was just weight in Russia and that's why there was no suspicion at this end?
That's possible.
All right, gentlemen, we'll take over the investigation from here. But not a word about the theft to anyone until we can straighten this thing out. But it is a delicate government matter until we can prove that speaker was not stolen in Russia.
The speaker was ripped off here. We'll try and get it back for you by tomorrow night.
Okay.
Christopher? I see. There is no possibility of error? I understand. What other information do you have? Yes, that concurs with my own sources. Now, I beg you do not have to instruct me as to the seriousness of this matter. I'm very well aware of its implications, and I shall most certainly be on the flight to the Hawaiian Islands tomorrow. Goodbye. Marla has disappeared. According to information we've received, she has made a defection attempt to the west.
Marla Vichenko? General Vichenko's daughter? But how is that possible? She is watched day and night. Especially after the pro-Western statement she made during the music concert.
Apparently she's not watched carefully enough. I think that this American band that was here had something to do with it. Now, you said that she became very friendly with them and admiring of their ideals.
You're saying they took Marla with them?
It's a definite possibility.
But how? Our security?
Our security can be broken and outthought like any other bureaucratic machinery. I suggest that somehow they managed to smuggle Marla Vichenko out of the country. A girl who, because of her proximity to the Secretariat, knows many secrets. So we must find her at all costs and bring her home, or I shall have to think of a more unpleasant alternative. Make arrangements for our immediate departure. Get as many KGB men as necessary. I'm sorry, Marla. We have no other choice.
This is what I call an assignment. Hanging out in Hawaii for a couple of weeks, checking out the local action.
Joe, we still have a job to do. We gotta find that missing speaker. You know how difficult that's gonna be?
Yes, and I know what you're gonna say. Stealing a Series G transonic speaker is like stealing an aircraft carrier. I mean, the minute you take it out, you're in big trouble.
Kinda sticks out in a crowd.
Yeah. Besides, who'd be stupid enough to steal a speaker and then take it out and show it off in front of everybody?
You got a point there. I guess this could be a long, tough case, waiting around for whoever lifted the speaker to get up enough courage to show up in public with it.
Yeah, you got it. Now, the way I see it, we spend our days with the surfing crowd. Well, just to pick up any extra information.
And how do we spend our nights?
Force ourselves to stay up late, in all the big spots.
Yeah, constant vigil.
Yeah, we don't know the meaning of the word sleep. I think we owe it to our country.
Yeah, I can't argue with you. When you're right, you're right. We could be stuck here for several months.
Yeah, it's a dirty job. Somebody's got to do it. Oh, no.
What? Pull over. What for?
Just do it. I don't believe it.
Joe, they have these things?
Series G transonic speaker. All a rotten luck.
Well, I suppose there's another way to look at it. Maybe Harry will let us lay over a couple of days for doing such a terrific job.
Don't bet on it.
Well, maybe they bought it legit.
Frank, I doubt they could afford something like that.
You want to bust them now, or you want to wait until after the concert?
I'm so mad I'd like to bust them right in the middle of this number.
Beloved, everything over there is caviar. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Midnight, they commit.
They still denying the charge?
Not only are they denying the charge, they're planning on suing the government for defamation of character and the price of their speaker.
They said they bought it this afternoon from a man in the flea market for $400.
You know something? I believe them.
You do?
Who'll be stupid enough to steal a speaker like that and then bring it out in public in front of all those people?
You guys are great. Next time I get a ticket, I'm going to give you a call.
Then it was your speaker.
The way it's all beat up? Oh, yeah, it's definitely ours, all right. The boys are loading it into the van right now. Well, thanks again. Oh, and I left you a couple of passes at the auditorium for the concert.
We'll be there.
Well, looks like everything turned out all right. I really didn't want to believe that was stolen in Moscow. It spares us a diplomatic embarrassment.
What about the guys from the beach?
David Gates and Brett don't want to press charges. So I guess that'll wrap it up.
Good. Thanks a lot. We better go.
Thanks.
All right, I guess that's that. As far as the Justice Department is concerned, it was all a false alarm.
There's something I'd like to know.
What?
How would anyone know what was in those cases?
Huh?
They're unmarked, and how would an outsider know whether they were getting costumes or drums or lighting equipment or anything?
Just the luck of the draw, I suppose.
Oh, it seemed more risky to you, Frank. Taking a packing case with its own built-in wheels and just hustling it as fast as you can out of an airport. Or would you break into the case, grab some huge speaker, and try and carry it inconspicuously out through everybody?
You're right. It doesn't make sense.
Not to me.
Nor to me. But the prisons are full of crooks who did things the hard way or the stupid way. You know, my first case as a cop. It was a long time before I joined the Justice Department. I was supposed to apprehend a couple of kids who robbed a bank in a red pickup truck with their own phone number splashed across the side of it.
I'd check up on those kids if I were you.
What do you mean?
They must be back in business. Probably into amplifiers now.
Bye, Harry.
Maybe we should tell them the truth. They could help us find the girl.
Yeah, they've helped us keep this thing clean and under wraps. Look, we set them up. They did exactly what we wanted them to do. And they made everybody else believe it. Well, their involvement is over. Finding that girl is up to us, before the KGB gets to her.
Got time. They may not even realize she's missing yet.
Vladimir Kristovin stepped off a plane from Moscow this afternoon.
Kristovin?
That's right.
But he's one of
the best. He's got one little girl to find on a very small island. He'll hunt her down with the precision of a military operation.
Harry, when he finds her, he'll take her back.
I don't know. To me, he's only got one choice. Kill her.
David Gates and Brett. Well, I first had the pleasure of introducing to Hawaii audiences some years ago. Now, they've just returned to the United States after a very, very successful tour of Russia. How about a big island aloha for David Gates and Brett?
The last train to Sancho Bay. Had my mind to dance the night away. Experimented with that cognac high. When in France you give everything a try. Soon the crowd dwindled down to two. Not a soul around but me again. Just smiled and French and took my hand. Spoke the words, I tried my best to understand. You're telling me, chez moi, ce soir, va jamais terminer. Pouvons rester toujours ensemble. You're telling me, come. Sweet words I can't forget. You're telling me, chez moi, ce soir, va jamais terminer. Pouvons rester toujours ensemble.
You know something? Yeah. Bread isn't the only thing on the menu tonight.
no sign of her.
She could be him. The hair a different color, combed differently, new makeup, new clothes. It's hard to find her in this crowd.
Then how do you suggest we proceed?
The group is the key. She had to leave the country with them. She will somehow try to make contact with them. And we will stay close to them.
Hey, Joe, you're gonna miss the party. All the guys are already up at the hotel. What's going on?
When did you buy these speakers?
Just before our European tour, about 9 months ago.
Did you buy them all together, or did you get them separately?
All at the same time. Why?
Well, it's funny. These three have consecutive serial numbers. This one's different. I played a hunch and called the manufacturer. This is a different model.
What are you trying to say?
This speaker came off the assembly line while you were still on tour. This is not the speaker that was stolen from you. Look at these marks. They're made real symmetrically, like with a knife, like somebody got out here and just tried to make it look old. I think I have a pretty good idea who's behind this.
Kind of a late call, isn't it? I figured you two would be at that party up the hotel. Something on your mind, gentlemen?
Yeah, you. Suddenly becoming an overnight music fan.
I don't know what you're talking about.
We're talking about deception, which when used against the bad guys is terrific, but when used against one's own forces is at best questionable.
That speaker we so conveniently found being used out in the open, it was planted, wasn't it?
By you.
How did you find out?
The series number was way out of sequence with the rest of the speakers. It was different. And there were fresh grooves cut all through it to make it look old.
Oh. Well, I guess I do owe you an explanation. We're still investigating. But it does appear that the speaker was probably stolen in Russia.
So you devised a scheme to return a speaker so the whole incident would be forgotten?
Right.
And used two new agents whose total sincerity, because they also have been duped, puts the final touch on the scam. Is that right?
Look, I told you I should have leveled with you before. I'm sorry. My orders come from Washington. Does the group know they've got a different speaker?
Yeah. They don't care. They just want to avoid making a scene.
Good. Well, that's a wrap as far as you're concerned. We'll be putting you on a plane back to the mainland in the morning.
Harry, we thought maybe a couple of days here in paradise for doing such a terrific job.
No, trouble on the mainland. We need a couple of young agents to take over an undercover assignment.
Swell.
Well, I'll see you in the mainland in a couple of days.
What about the breadcrumbs?
What?
The breadcrumbs. I found breadcrumbs at the bottom of that speaker counter. What were they doing there?
How should I know?
Yeah, how should you know? I'll see you in a couple days, Harry.
Bye, Harry. What's all this about breadcrumbs?
Well, I don't know. I found them at the bottom of that packing case, and I'd like to know what they were doing there. Doesn't that strike you as strange?
What are you getting at?
Well, maybe nothing. I don't know. I guess it doesn't make any difference anymore. Let's go out and enjoy our last night in Hawaii.
Excuse me, sir. Are you David Gates?
Yeah?
Of course. I'm Vladimir Kristovan. I represent the Soviet Union. Is there a quiet corner here where we can talk?
The Soviet Union? Well, I don't know what you want.
Well, we can either talk here or somewhere else. The choice is yours.
We can talk out there.
Surely. I would like to talk to him privately.
What's this all about?
It's about a girl named Marla. I believe you made her acquaintance when you were in the Soviet Union. I believe she defected to the West with your help.
I don't know where you're getting your information, pal, but...
Mr. Gates, the information I have is accurate. I don't know what your motivation was. I hope it was personal and not political. Now, you've put that girl in a very vulnerable position. As the daughter of an important general, General Vishenko. She carries a head filled with secret information. Very secret. Am I making myself clear?
I understand what you're saying, but we had nothing to do with Marla Vichenko. If she skipped the country...
Then she had outside help. If not yours, then that of your friends. I want you to impress upon her that it's important to come to me and give herself up before it's too late. You must understand, she's our countrywoman. We wish her no harm. I'm staying at this hotel, Suite 409. I want to hear from you within 24 hours. Enjoy your party.
What was that all about? And who was that guy?
A Russian agent. He's here looking for a girl who's supposed to have defected.
What girl?
You remember that pretty little girl you tried to do a number on in Moscow, Marla Vichenko?
Sure.
Just what did you two talk about over those dinners you had?
Oh, no. Now, wait a minute. I was just showing her some down-home hospitality. It didn't include defection. Besides, anyway, Larry took her out, too.
Well, hey, it never got heavy.
Well, if you don't know anything, I better start talking to a couple of guys who do. All right, which one of you guys is going to tell me what's been going on around here?
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Marla Vichenko.
Who?
Marla Vichenko. It's a girl all of a sudden I'm accused of helping get out of Russia.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, David. Have a seat. Please, sit down. You're telling us you're being accused of masterminding a defection?
Well, they think it's me or one of the other guys in the group.
Well, who's doing the accusing?
Well, Mr. Kristovan, who represents the Soviet Union. He just came up to me at the party tonight.
Do you know this girl, Marla?
Oh, sure, we know her. I mean, she came around a lot on that Russian tour, but none of us got that friendly.
Where can we find this Kristovan?
He's up at our hotel in Suite 409. And let me tell you, he's got some very heavy people around him, and he means to get that girl back.
Well, we'll take care of it. Really, go on to the hotel and relax.
All right. Hey, what about the Russian Secret Service that's camping on my doorstep?
Look, I told you, we'll take care of it.
Well, I'd sure appreciate that.
We'll take care of it? I think we've just found the answer to our breadcrumbs. I think it's about time you started leveling with us.
About what?
About Marla Vichenko, the girl that defected, probably with the help of the members of Bread.
Marla Vishenko?
Yeah, the girl who was smuggled out of Russia in a speaker packing case. And this time you better be straight with us.
Again, just under orders to limit the truth to as few people as possible. For your safety as well as the girls.
For our safety?
Working undercover, you could be somebody who just happened to get in their way.
All right, we'll buy that. We've learned this much. Why don't you fill us in on the rest, all of it?
All right. Marla Vichenko. She's the daughter of General Vichenko. He's one of the top officials of the Secretariat. Now, she knows things that we would like to know. She fell in love with one of the members of the musical group and wanted to come to the West. And we arranged for her defection.
What did you promise? Security? Protection? A new life?
All of those things.
No doubt he told her he was in love with her.
That's right.
So what happened?
Well, everything went according to plan in Russia. We got her out of the packing crate without anyone seeing her.
How did she get away?
One of our agents was driving her to the Federal Building. I guess she started to think about what might be happening. Well, she jumped out of the car in the traffic and started running. We haven't seen her since.
So the KGB are after her, and we're after her.
You got it. The KGB has sent in Vladimir Christovin. Now, that name probably doesn't register with you. But he's got the reputation of being one of the best intelligent agents in the world. They wouldn't have sent him unless that girl is a walking time bomb.
If we find her first, what happens?
We'll protect her.
By getting all the information you need out of her, making her betray her country, is that it?
That is not my department, nor is it my responsibility. My job at the moment is to find her.
What happens if Christovin finds her first?
Oh, come on. This island is as well protected as anyone in the world. We've got the entire 7th Fleet sitting right out there in the middle of Pearl Harbor. There's absolutely no way for Christovin to contact the sub to get her out. He knows we've got all the airports covered. He's dead.
So is she.
If she doesn't contact our man, she'll most likely try to get in touch with the Russian consulate. That's either going to be in Los Angeles or San Francisco. We've got all the lines covered. Sooner or later, she's going to make a move. And we're going to get there first. However, in the meantime, you two are expected back on the mainland tomorrow.
Harry, we promised David and his group we'd help. We gave our word.
We want to be involved.
I wish I could help you, but this has got to be handled on a higher level.
But this isn't the level the girl's operating on. She's going on fear. If she keeps on running, you've got a whole island to cover. Who would be better to fit in with the local color than he or I?
The group's the one key you've got. They trust us. I don't think you have any choice.
How did we ever manage before you two came along?
Must have been rough, Harry. See you in the morning.
Good night.
Hey. Are you on your way to the party?
No, I wasn't invited.
Well, you just were. I'm Jerry.
My name's Marla.
Hey, you seem all uptight. Is something wrong?
Oh, no, I just won't know anyone at your party.
You will. Come on. Come on.
Hey, everybody. This is Marla.
Hi.
You hungry?
Yes.
All right, well, help yourself. Where are you from?
Europe?
Well, that's narrowing it down. I'll see you in a minute, all right? If you wanted the money, all you had to do was ask.
I'm sorry. What's up?
Oh, it's okay. She's got some kind of heavy problem. Let's let her alone for a little while.
Operator, may I help you? Yes. Operator, I want San Francisco information, please.
One moment, please. Connecting you with San Francisco information.
Yes. I need the number of the Russian embassy. I didn't know what else to do. Who else to turn to? Yes, I'm all right. I'm fine, but I just want to come home now. I'm in the Hawaiian Islands on Oahu, in a small cottage on the North Shore. No one knows I'm here.
What exactly is your address?
Wait. 18708 Kalani Drive. It's about 10 kilometers from Honolulu. It's right on the beach.
That's all I need.
Yeah, Frank, I'll pick you and Joe up in 3 minutes. Hey, George, let's go. Thanks.
How soon will someone come?
Very soon. Stay right where you are. You will be safe once they arrive. You understand that?
Yes. Yes, I understand. Thank you.
I'd say the Russian embassy already got a call into Cristobal.
We got a 10-minute lead on them at least.
Hey, you feeling okay?
Yes.
And why not come and join the party? Hello? Yes, just a minute. It's for you.
Oh, I made a call earlier. I hope you don't mind.
It's okay. See you in a little bit.
Yes, thank you. Hello?
Marla, it's me. Don't hang up. Marla, please. Give me a chance to talk to you.
How did you find me?
That isn't important right now. What's important is that you get out of there right away. I know that you called the Russian embassy in San Francisco, and they probably put a call into Cristobal already.
Cristobal here?
Yes, he's here in Honolulu. He's the man they sent after you.
But he's an old friend. I've nothing to fear from him.
Listen, you have everything to fear from him. He won't be taking you back. Don't you understand that? He can't. Our side won't let him. That leaves him with no choice.
I don't want to hear this. I don't want to listen to you anymore.
Marla, wait. Listen to me.
No.
Sweetheart, you know I care about you more than anyone else in the world. I'm going to prove it to you by telling you something that I shouldn't. Federal offices are on the way to the beach cottage right now. They'll be there in minutes. If you don't believe me, watch from somewhere safe. You'll see them arrive.
I don't know what to do. I don't know what to believe.
Believe me, Marla, I'm telling you the truth. Here's a number where you can reach me. 555-7412. Call me, Marla. That's all I ask. Now get out of there right now.
Federal agents.
Yeah, I think you guys got the wrong house.
We're looking for a young lady who made a telephone call from this address. Her name is Marla Vishenko.
Marla? Oh, what do you want her for? She's in some kind of trouble?
We'd like to see her. Talk to her.
This way. She was in here. I just talked to her about 10 minutes ago.
The window's open.
Did she make any phone calls?
Well, yeah. She even took a call from some guy.
Who?
I don't know. He didn't mention his name.
Well, obviously whoever called tipped her off that we were coming.
Yeah. All right, let's check the grounds. George. Come on, move it. Thanks.
Should be miles from here by now.
Yeah,
What do we do?
just gonna have to start all over again. Try to save that girl's life.
I'm really worried about that girl. Can you imagine? Being alone in a strange country, nowhere to run. Just reaching out for somebody you can trust.
You want to know something? I wish it could be us.
It looks as if she's gone.
How could she have known they were coming?
That's an interesting question. And an answer we'll have to find perhaps before we find Marla. But we'll find her.
Help me. Somebody help
guys are good. How'd you like to work full-time for the Justice Department?
Here are a few scenes from part 1 of Defection to Paradise.
We'll never be together again. If you wake up and I'm not there, I won't be long away. 'Cause the things you do.
They love you. Come see the show.
Listen, we got
problems. One of our speakers is missing. One of the new Series G Transonics. Now, it could have been stolen either here or back in Russia.
I don't know how it could be missing from this end. We have a very tight security system.
Well, apparently not tight enough. Marla has disappeared. She has made a defection attempt to the West.
Marla Vichenko. General Vichenko's daughter?
Vladimir Kristovin stepped off a plane for Moscow this afternoon.
Kristovin?
That's right.
But he's
the best. He's got one little girl to find on a very small island. He'll hunt her down with the precision of a military operation.
Harry, when he finds her, take her back?
I don't know. To me, he's only got one choice. Kill her.
How about a big island aloha for David Gates and Brad?
The last train to Sancho Bay. Had in mind to dance the night away. Experimented with a cognac high. When in France you give everything a try.
Excuse me, sir. Are you David Gates?
Yeah?
Of course. I'm Vladimir Christovan. I represent the Soviet Union. Marla disappeared, and I believe that she defected to the West with your help.
With my help? Who? Marla Vichenko. It's a girl all of a sudden I'm accused of helping get out of Russia.
You're telling us you're being accused of masterminding a defection?
Well, I think it's me or one of the other guys in the group.
Well, who's doing the accusing?
Well, Mr. Christovan.
I think it's about time you started leveling with us.
About what?
About Marla Vichenko, the girl that defected.
Marla Vichenko?
Yeah, the girl who was smuggled out of Russia in a speaker packing case. And this time you better be straight with us.
Now, she knows things that we would like to know. She fell in love with one of the members of the musical group and wanted to come to the West. And we arranged for her defection.
How could she have known they were coming?
That's an interesting question. And an answer we'll have to find perhaps before we find Marla. But we'll find her.
And now the conclusion of Defection to Paradise.
Mr. Hammond, of course. Yes, yes. I've seen your file many times.
Oh, please, come in.
Thank you.
This could make the Cuban Missile Crisis look like a brush fire.
I just hope Harry is straight with it.
Why should he be? He hasn't been straight with us.
No, but I think we still have a pretty good idea what's going on.
Yeah, what we don't know is who it was that shipped Marla Vichenko out of Russia. I think he does.
I think you're right. All we have to do now is figure out what our next move is.
I don't like to criticize, but the agents you've had watching me since my arrival are not very subtle.
Well, they aren't meant to be. They're simply to remind you that we are interested in everything you do until you choose to leave us.
Yes, of course. I understand.
Tell me, how many agents do you have planted here that we're not aware of?
Surely you don't expect me to answer that.
No.
Charming view. There must be something to say for paradise.
Now, presumably you're speaking of the islands, not the American way of life.
The decadence that we speak of is only skin deep. It is the soft core of American society that is rotting, the inner self. Now, of course, I can speak of the austerity of oppression, if you like.
Surely you're not talking about Mother Russia.
Oh, no. No, we're merely speaking of ideologies.
Is that why you're here in Honolulu? To discuss ideologies with me?
Well, I'm sure that would pass a very pleasant evening, but I think you know very well I'm here to speak about a little girl, Marla Vichenko. What do you plan to do with her?
It's an interesting question. I'm simply surprised that you're asking it in person.
Why? Should we scuttle about in the dark like scavengers, trying to avoid each other's path? Trying to keep that spy fiction alive? I don't find that productive in trying to save a girl's life.
Is that why you're here?
That girl has the misfortune of being the daughter of an important official who has the bad habit of speaking freely of government secrets while in her presence. The girl was enchanted by stories of the West and was convinced that it was right for her to defect.
You aren't saying she was brought to the United States by force.
Mr. Hammond, you might say, with promises that were obviously broken, or you wouldn't be searching for her, too.
What's the bottom line, Christopher?
The bottom line. Oh, well, I like that. The bottom line. That's, of course, classified information. If we find her, will you let us take her home? We both have our jobs to do. Marla is the one caught in the middle.
So what do you suggest?
I would suggest that we pool our information, work together. Let us take her home before the damage is done.
And if she doesn't want to go home?
She called the Russian consulate. She didn't call you. I believe she's changed her mind and now doesn't know what to do, and she's simply afraid to call the KGB.
You do have a certain reputation.
Yes, thank you. We both have. My friend, whichever one of us finds her first, let us please be gentle. I know this girl ever since she was a small child. She's a good person, a good human being who needs our help. Let's not let her be killed. Not in the name of some fleetingly significant information.
I am in no position to make promises. That would have to come from Washington.
Of course not. And I understand. Good night.
I've told you exactly what happened. It was a fancy match. He was testing our defenses, and I think he found them pretty shaky. But I can guarantee you he's no closer to the girl than we are. Why don't you guys get some sleep? I'll give you an updated report tomorrow.
Why don't you give us an updated report right now?
Such as?
Such as, what is this unbelievable information that Marla's supposed to possess that everybody's after?
I wasn't going to tell you that.
But you've changed your mind.
All right, I'll tell you as much as I know. According to our sources, in the very near future, the Russians are supposed to be testing a new revolutionary ICBM missile. We think it's supposed to take place somewhere off the New Siberian Islands. The CIA wants to know exactly when and where the tests are going to take place.
And Marla's supposed to know about this?
Well, most of the conferences about the test took place in her father's home. A lot of high-placed Soviet officials attended those conferences.
And the CIA thinks she was listening at the keyhole?
They just don't want to take any chances, and neither do we.
What about after the tests? Won't that information become obsolete?
Yeah, completely valueless.
So if we can find her and protect her until the tests are finished, they'll leave her alone.
I'll have no more reason to go after her.
Well, I guess we know what we have to do. Don't we?
Frank, Owens is in the building.
What?
Owens is in the building.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I just caught a glimpse of him at the door.
Well, that's interesting. long has Paul Owens been with the group?
Almost a year. But he's been handling foreign tours for groups for the last 6 years. He's got connections with the State Department.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to know what those connections were. Let's go, Frank.
Well, let me know what's happening.
Believe me, when we know, you'll know. Owens just got a phone call that said I'm flying out of here. Let's find out where he's going in such a hurry. What's his room number?
731.
Let's go get him.
Are you all right? Sweetheart, I've been worried about you. Why did you run away like that?
You said nothing to me about giving myself up at the federal building. I don't want to see those people. Don't you understand that? They'll want to know things about my father, about my country. Do you really think that I would betray them even for you?
I wouldn't ask you to betray anyone or anybody.
No, you wouldn't. But what about your government? You swore to me in Moscow that nothing like this was going to happen. You promised me. I want to be with you, but just to disappear from sight where no one will ever be able to find us.
That's what we're going to do. Now listen to me. I called you. I warned you federal agents around the way. I wouldn't have done that if I wanted them to get to you. Baby, I wanted to be with you alone again, to talk to you, to tell you the truth about everything. Who is it?
Frank Hardy.
It's a little late, Frank. Can it wait till morning?
I doubt it.
You're right there, Frank. Just a second. Come on in. I thought you guys would still be at the party boogie.
We saw you leave. You went out in such a hurry. We wondered what was wrong.
Nothing's wrong, Frank. I told you, I'm tired. I've had a lot of hustling tonight. Rebooking the group, catching up on my homework. Besides, I'm not a party person, and it has been a long night.
Yes, it has. Especially for Marla Vichenko.
What's she got to do with anything?
Oh, you don't know what's happened?
No.
Well, I'll tell you. You smuggled Marla out of Russia in a packing case.
I did?
Yeah, and she agreed to it. Except what she didn't know was that when she arrived, she was going to be delivered right into the hands of federal agents.
I don't know anything about this.
Then what were you doing at the federal building tonight talking to Hammond?
You mean the guy at the concert? He needed some tickets for some friends for tomorrow night's show, so
you just decided to leave right in the middle of a party, leaving David and the whole group while you go down and make sure Hammond's taken care of? It's very nice of you.
You both better get out of here. Now.
I don't think so. Not to hear what we have to say. But first, I'm going to tell you how you managed to get musical groups in and out of Iron Curtain countries and cut all the red tape.
It's certainly a lot easier as an undercover federal agent, isn't it, Paul?
What did you tell her? That you love her? Tap on her emotions so you can vacuum her brain?
How long have you been running groups in and out of Iron Curtain countries? 6 years? Setting up a cover? Waiting for your first big prize, Marla Vichenko?
You guys play real dirty, you know that?
Shut up. Don't tell us to shut up.
Gone. Thanks to you two.
Thanks to us? Why don't you try blaming yourself for a change?
I think we should call Hammond.
All right, I'll blanket the area. But I'm afraid she's probably long gone by now. Yeah, if she tries to get in touch with you again, I want to know about it. Thank you.
She won't trust me again.
Well, you really didn't expect her to, did you?
No. Well, you were right, both of you. I am working with the government. Running rock groups in and out of Iron Curtain countries is a front. Marla was a vulnerable Russian girl, presumed to have an important secret in her head and a desire for Western values. My job was to get close to her, very close, and offer her the life she wanted.
So you played the role of the star-crossed lover to the hilt.
Yeah, but I blew it. You know how? I fell in love with her. And that's not supposed to happen. It's against all rules.
What were you going to do about it?
Oh, I had it all worked out. I was going to take it to the federal building so the KGB couldn't get to her. Well, I worked out the arrangements. Then I was going to spring her, tell her the truth, and we were both going to disappear. Just the way I had promised her would happen when we were in Russia.
So before you got to the federal building, she got frightened, jumped out of the car, and ran.
That's right.
It was you who called her at the beach cottage and told her we were coming.
Yeah.
And if she hadn't bolted, you would have taken her away with you.
Just as far as I could.
If all that you're saying is true, you're going to be in a lot of trouble with your superiors, not to mention the government.
A lot. I'd be turning my back on my job, my duty. Some might even say my country. We're talking about a girl's life and a future. A future that I want with her.
Why are you telling us all this? What's to prevent us from repeating this to Hammond?
Nothing. I'm taking a chance on you. I want you to help me find Marla.
We'll get back to you.
What do you think?
I don't know. I don't know whether to believe him or not. He set up that girl. That was his job, and that was the way he went into it.
People fall in love.
Yeah, I know.
Owens did call Marla when he found out we were on our way to the beach house. He did warn her to get out.
That's true, and I really like to believe this guy, but it's such a game. There's so much politics.
And unfortunately, it's all taking place at higher levels at this point. The only person who really loses is Marla.
Mr. Gates. Mr. David Gates.
We'd like to speak to you a moment, please. I'd stop if I were you.
Mr. Gates. I would not like to cause any unnecessary commotion.
Mr. Gates.
That's right.
We want to talk to you, Mr. Gates, about a matter of the greatest importance. importance to both of us.
Oh, sure. Let's go up to my suite.
Right here will be fine. I think you know what we want. You're going to help us.
Well, look, I told your man at the party tonight. I had nothing to do with Marla Vichenko. I only met her a few times with the group. She just likes our music.
What did you promise her to induce her to betray her country? Her own father, her principles.
I didn't promise her anything. How many times do I have to tell you guys?
I know what you told my superior. His instincts are usually infallible. But there are times when even the sharpest intellect is dulled by age, regret. It's a sad thing to watch. You'll find my method much more direct. Tell us where Marla Vichenko is.
David, I'm sorry. I'm afraid the next time you ask the government for protection, you should choose 2 more experienced agents.
Well, you guys can't follow me around 24 hours a day. Usually I can take care of myself, but there were 6 of them.
Was it Christovan?
No, I didn't see him. It was that younger guy with him. I don't know his name.
Did you convince them that you don't know anything?
I couldn't tell. I just came back and called you guys.
Well, you did the right thing. I'll make sure that some men are assigned you for the rest of your stay in Hawaii.
We'll see you tomorrow night at the concert.
Hope you feel better.
Please, don't call anyone. Not until I can talk to you. I didn't know where else to go. I'm not even sure where I'm here, but I overheard the things you said in Paul's room tonight, and you seem to be very understanding. I have to have someone to talk to.
If we'd known you were listening, it wouldn't have been so rough. I can't say I blame you for running after all that's happened. We were trying to shake him up.
He said he loved me. And I believed him. I really believed everything he told me.
If you hadn't left when you did, you would have heard the second part of our conversation with Paul. He admitted that all we said was true, except for one thing.
That he loves you. Very much. That's why he tried to warn you. He was planning on going away with you, someplace far away where the KGB and the federal agents couldn't find you.
He said that?
Yes, he did.
It's another trick. Why should I believe you?
It's the very reason we're sitting here. Ask yourself why you're not on the way to the federal building right now.
You want to know something ironic? I don't know anything that could be of use to your government. My father used to speak more freely when I was a little girl, but do you really think that I listened to all that technical data he reels off? There is nothing I can tell you, nothing at all.
I believe you.
I don't know what to believe anymore. If what you were saying about Paul were only true, I love him so much. Help me, please help me.
We're doing the right thing, Joe.
Yeah, I know. I'm just not sure we'd be able to sell that to Harry if he ever found out.
Hey, you two. Hey, don't you ever sleep?
We've kind of written tonight off.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Listen, don't feel too responsible about the girl getting away, huh? I had a chance to get her tonight, and I let her go.
What do you mean?
At the beach cottage.
Owens called her. You couldn't help that.
Yeah, Owens called her, and he warned her at my suggestion. I knew it would make her trust him. Come to him on the right level. I really thought she'd tell him more as long as she still believed that he loved her. I guess I should have taken her while I still had the chance.
Marla? You stay here tonight. Tomorrow we'll find out whether or not Paul was telling the truth. We'll make arrangements for you to attend the Bread concert. If they play a special song, Goodbye Girl, in the third spot, then come backstage. It means we've made arrangements for you both to escape.
And if they don't play it, that means it's a trap. You should get out of there as quickly as you can.
You would do this for me?
Yes. Thousands of people out there. You think the Russians will spot her?
I hope not.
We'll know if we're doing the right thing when we talk to Owens. If he levels with us, we'll go through with it. If he doesn't,
It's over.
You sure you have it straight?
Yeah, if everything's okay, I play Goodbye Girl in the third spot.
Right. If we decide we can't trust Owens, stick with everything I own.
Got it. Where'll you be so I'll know?
We'll be right here on the side of the stage. Remember, up or down.
Live or die, just like that.
Just like that.
I was hoping I wouldn't see you here tonight.
Did you really have any doubts?
No. And may I be the first to wish you bad luck.
You're not the first. Bad hunting to you as well.
No, I just wish there was a way for us to get out of this one.
So do I. How often have we stood opposite each other on a battlefield hoping the same thing?
I haven't really thought much about that until recently. What do you think? Age? Enlightenment?
A little of both.
Speaking of which, where's that vigorous young friend of yours?
Kaligin. Oh, he's out proving himself, no doubt.
You'd better warn him not to prove himself while he's within the territory of the United States.
Warn him. He's very much the way we used to be at his age. He knows no fear.
Excuse me.
I will wish for her his wife, all the sweet things she can find, all the sweet things they can find.
Thank you all very much.
Who draws the crowd and plays so loud? Baby, it's the guitar man. Who's gonna steal the show? You know, baby, it's the guitar man. He can make you love, he can make you cry. He will bring you down.
I'm telling you, Frank, for the first time in my life, I feel afraid. Everything's coming down on me.
You know you brought it on yourself. Whatever happens, you're gonna have to live with it.
Yeah, I'd give my life to do it over.
Would you?
Yeah.
What would you change, Paul?
Well, I would have been totally upfront with her and told her everything so she could have handled whatever happened. Right now, this place is crawling with KGB and our guys, all looking for one thing, Marla.
There may be a way out of this, Paul.
Frank, you're in up over your head on this. There's no way out, especially for Marla.
She wants to be with you, Paul. She wants to go away with you.
Are you serious?
Right now, tonight. Right in the middle of the concert.
We've got it all set up.
Look, I've been involved in so many games I can't tell the real thing from a fantasy anymore. Are you both telling me you know where Marla is?
Yes. We can put it together. If you told us everything, The real truth about this whole story?
Everything.
Even down to warning Marla away from your own agents?
That's one of the things that really impressed us, the fact that you'd stick your neck out like that to save her.
Come on, I couldn't let anything happen to her. How do we get her out of here?
We'll get back to you.
The voice begins to falter and the crowds are getting thin. But he never seems to notice he's just got to find another place to play.
Still didn't tell us the truth.
Yeah, at least we know he's still playing games with us.
I'm sick of it. You know, we almost made the biggest mistake of our lives.
Our lives? What about the girl? Thank you very much. Thanks again.
Thank you very much. We'd like to do a song for you now that I wrote in memory of my father. He was a very kind man, taught me an awful lot about music.
Listen, there's one more thing about warning Marla. Our agents are coming to pick her up at the beach.
Hope you like it as much as I do. It's called Everything I Own.
It was part of the game plan. Hammond set it up to convince her I was on her side. What he didn't know was that I had intended to tip her off anyway.
Why didn't you tell us this before?
It's hard to stop lying once you start. You seem convinced that because I love her, I'd warn her. I was afraid you'd change your mind.
We did. The wrong way.
You've got to stop Marla from leaving.
What it's
David.
You sheltered me from harm.
Tell you what I'm going to do instead. Have you heard the song Goodbye Girl?
Okay, the truck's right outside.
And Marla?
She's ready to go. She's in position.
What about the KGB?
It's okay. They're sitting there in a parked car. They can't miss her.
Let's do it. Trust us.
So remember, goodbye doesn't mean forever. Let me tell you, goodbye doesn't mean we'll never be together again. Though we may be so far apart, we still would have life hard. So forget your past, my goodbye girl. 'Cause now you're all my
No. We'll be at a better place at a better time. are well out into international waters. Now is as good a time as any. Tell me there are a lot of sharks in these waters. Any boats on the horizon?
No boats.
Then I think we can safely report this matter is disposed of.
Joe? Joe, you all right? You know what it's like treading water in a dress?
To think that my young colleague fell for the oldest spruce in the world.
Ambition can be blinding.
I'd like to get my hands on that guy.
This gotta be handled on a little higher level, Frank. And about you two. You're gonna have some explaining to do.
What's to explain? We just went sailing.
That's more serious than that. You had your orders.
Sometimes you have to do what you think is right, Harry. Marla didn't know anything. Even if she did, she wouldn't betray her country, not even for love.
We're gonna have to pick up your
report his heroic exploits in the field. Several weeks from now, I suspect the girl will show up in some Pacific paradise. Oh, I would guess Tahiti, a French colony. Now, Kaligi, back home. You see, we'll find it extremely hard to explain the girl's survival. Understand?
You're saying you'll call off your troops on Marla if we let you leave with Kalagan?
Well, the troops, as you call them, have been called off already. The tests that your Central Intelligence Organization is interested in were completed exactly 20 minutes ago.
I mean, even if Marla knew anything, it doesn't make any difference now?
Precisely. Now the girl is free. As far as my government is concerned, she was killed by my ambitious young colleague. When I'm informed of it, I shall of course be properly shocked and have to discipline him. But by then it'll be too late, because the girl will be living in some neutral country, and she'll be out of each of our hands. Do you understand?
What you say is slightly unorthodox. I'd have to take your word.
Yes?
Goodbye, girl, 'cause now you're all I've lost.